Okay, so this is a video of me giving my younger self advice. And first of all, I want to shout out Ms. Randolph because you have been my favorite teacher. For it to be your first year, I just want you to know that you're doing amazing. I love your teaching style. Our class is like a big family, and I haven't felt like that with any of my other classes. So shout out to you. Okay, so the first thing I would tell to my younger self, which is something I've struggled with a lot growing up, that you need to love the skin that you're in. Growing up, I was always like bullied for being dark skin, black, burnt, call me all type of names. Just really bothered me to the point where I would just like wish I could be lighter. And I feel like society tells us that light skin is beautiful and the lighter the better. So growing up, I really was insecure about my skin tone, and I would just tell my younger self that you're beautiful. Now I've grown up to love my skin tone. I love my complexion, but my younger self, I hated it. People would say I was ugly or fat or black, and it was just really bothered me. So I would definitely tell my younger self that don't let society tell you what's beautiful. You need to believe that you're beautiful no matter what skin tone you are, what race. It doesn't matter. You need to be comfortable with the skin you're in and not to let anybody put you down. You need to love yourself. Another thing I would tell my younger self is not to compare yourself to people. When I was younger, I would always see other people and I just wish I looked like that, or I wish I had her hair, and her hair is so nice and mine isn't. Her skin is light and mine's dark. You cannot compare yourself to people. It will cause a ton of insecurities, ton of unhappiness with yourself. And I would just definitely tell my younger self, don't compare yourself to anybody. Another thing that I would tell my younger self is that you can't change anyone but yourself. And what I mean when I say this is that ignorance is everywhere. I mean everywhere. At the gas station, at the grocery store, at school, at work, everywhere. And you can't expect people to change, so you have to change yourself. You have to be patient. I'm going to repeat this again. You can't change anyone except yourself. You cannot expect other people to change themselves to fit your ideas. I've slowly learned that ignorance is everywhere, and you're going to face it no matter what. You can't expect people to change themselves to fit your ideas. And I feel like that ties into having patience. I've had a lot of experiences where I've dealt with racism, and you just have to be patient, and you can't expect people to change, is basically what I'm saying. So I'm not saying it's okay. I've learned that sometimes you just have to deal with it and accept that this is how some people are. It's a lot of ignorant people in the world, and you have to be patient. Karma is real. I would tell my younger self, treat others the way you would want to be treated. Because whatever you put onto somebody, it will come back onto you. And I strongly believe that. I'm a strong believer in karma. I definitely believe that if you do wrong onto others, wrong will be done onto you. I've done some things to people out of spite, out of anger, and I can't name one time where it hasn't come back onto me, seriously. So I would definitely tell my younger self, karma is real. Definitely learn not to let my hardships that I've faced in life define me. A lot of people look at me and they think, oh, she got it easy. She ain't never been through nothing in her life. I've been through a lot. I have a story. I used to be ashamed of my past, where I came from. But now I'm like open to it. I will openly tell people what I've been through because it's not who I am. I've just learned to not let it define me. Once you let your hardships define you, you become almost ashamed. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody goes through something in life. Everybody has hardships. It might not be as deep as someone else's, but everybody has a story. Everybody has hardships. You just can't let your struggles define who you are today. Yes, they help create who you are, but they're not who you are. Another thing, don't care too much about what other people think of you. I still care about my reputation, but I care so much about what people thought of me to the point where it would stop me from doing certain things that I would really want to do just because of the fear of what somebody else might think of me. I will say I really didn't stop caring about what people thought about me until I got to TSU. I'm a free spirit. I do what makes me happy. I do what I please. And I don't care about what other people think of me at this point. I'm gonna do what makes me happy and what I'm comfortable with doing, regardless of other people's opinions on me. Because at the end of the day, I have to live with myself. And I have to be happy with who I am. So it really doesn't matter what other people think of me. It doesn't matter what people think is okay for you to do or what people think you should be doing, because you're not me. I have to live in myself. Period.